Hello everyone and welcome back to Beyond the Veil Background Information. Today we're doing a character profile and it's for a book called No Sleep in the Shadows. This story is currently a Patreon exclusive. The whole thing was produced as a Christmas gift for 2020 and it's even now on Patreon you can read the unedited first draft for just sponsoring $1. So it's currently in a pile of being edited and cleaned up to eventually be published as Kindle only, like with my other previous Christmas one, My Dearest Loaf. So if you go onto Patreon, you'll find that literally you'll only have the book up. There's no little bits of information or anything apart from what I'm going to do here with the character profiles. As always, I start with a quote from the story, then I just do the character profile. Okay? So let's get started. We're doing Artaxes today. There he is. Oh my god, he's so hot. Half demon and half angel, a proper mistemmer, and a total babe at that. Look at him smoking before class too. Such a bad boy. No, don't budge past me. I spotted him first, and you can see him easily from your position. Oh, Artaxes, hold up. We want to walk with you to class. That's from No Sleep in the Shadows. Right, bunch of bimbos. Sorry for my terrible impression there. This is Artaxes, a troublesome teen with a terrible libido and a very saucy story. In the story, Artaxes the Mistemmer is in university/college with his best friend, a lust demon named Milli, who is preparing for her 18th year when her demonic desires and abilities will come to the fore. Artaxes and Milli have been friends since kids. She's his best friend, but he has started to want more from the chubby tentacled slime demon to the point he'll use her fears of breaking the Reformer Demon Code by making a contract that means he'll satisfy her demonic needs with his own sexual desires. It's a very interesting but very mature story. Right, name, Artaxes Rodolson. Position, Mistemmer. Story featured in No Sleep in the Shadows. Role, romantic interest. Gender, male. Description, tall, magenta eyes, red feathered wings, great long black horns like a Thompson's gazelle, black hair that's short and swept back behind his ears, light skin, muscular, and always with a scowl and the attitude of a delinquent who couldn't give a toss. Realm, Veil. Abilities, can fly, can defeat demons, can force demons to tell the truth, and can heal humans. Master himself, but he will have to join the Mistemmer Court. Personality, stubborn, arrogant, and obnoxious. He was once a cute kid before he learnt being a Mistemmer meant on his 21st year he would have to go to the court and not return to Earth for 200 years. Understand he can't do what he wants in the future. When he turns 18, he does whatever he wants, no matter how bad, in a vain protest. He hates a lot. He hates his mother in particular, but he loves and adores Milli. He really wants to make sure she is looked after and cared for. He is utterly in love with her, but he doesn't really want to show it since he'd gotten older, and this love had included sexual things that Milli was terrified of. But he's cunning and aggressive, possessive over her, and does his best to make sure he's the only one she can relations. Muse. His angelic mother, they barely have any role in his life, but to dictate what is expected of a Mistemmer. As a child they were more affectionate, but as soon as he began to act like a little boy, there was a distance between them, and it just kept growing. Somehow they still get along, but his mother has a tendency to be disappointed in his life decisions. Roddle. His loving demonic father, Roddle accidentally absorbed one of Muse's feathers after becoming a reformer for falling in love with the figure, and it made him pregnant. He birthed Mistemmer, and he adores his son greatly, but has to deal with a lot of chaos that his son causes, and is often a very apologetic character. Milli, his best friend since childhood. He's been in love with her probably since the first moment they met, and he'll do anything to protect her if he can. He is possessive over her, though. In fact, he wants to be with her forever, but the rules of being a Mistemmer mean he can't, and so he turns bad, hoping they'll reject him, until Milli really needs help, and he sees another chance. The girls on campus, they all love him, whether he shouts or swears at them. At first it was because he was angelic and adorable and sweet, but when he turned 16 and the bad behaviour began, it was the bad boy allure. Within the first month of turning 18, he slept with nearly all of the popular entourage of his year and above, and it was not until the transaction with Milli that he actually stopped using their services. Yep, he was a man-whore with them. Born and raised by a reformer demon with his angelic mother visiting every so often, Artaxes had a good childhood with his father's total affection, living on a barge and going ashore to mingle with humans. He was in awe of humans and loved to be a helpful and sweet little boy, skipping around in his dungarees and giving flowers he would suddenly make grow to everyone who felt needed it. He was always loved, and his mother was proud of his early development, and then, when he was a bit older, he began to understand something was different. He did what all little boys did, and his mother seemed to be pulling away. He learnt from Roddle that as a Mastema he should enjoy life while he could, because at 21 he would enter the Mastema court and never come back to Earth unless told to for 200 years. It was hard to understand, but he thought it would not matter at such a young age, when he was taken on a trip to the lakes in Sweden where reformed demon families had a holiday camp, and here, whilst running about in the safe woods, he fell over and scraped his knee. He was met by a nice slime demoness called Milli, who used her tentacles to clean his wound before she took him back to their parents, who were making friends. It was the start of everything for Artaxes, finding a best friend and slowly falling in love until, when he was 16, he realised the big problem of being a Mastema in that he would not be able to marry her and be together with her. But if they had babies, then he'd get to keep with her and marry her for 18 years before having to go back to the court. And that's where the trouble starts for him. Final comments. As I said, I wrote his story as 2020's Christmas draft for my Patreons, and I'm sort of editing it for release in 2022. So my current cover is atrocious and I'm redrawing it. Anyway, he's a fun troublemaker to write about. Oh, and he's Dutch, by the way. It was meant to be a real bad boy type because it made a fun contrast in a half-angel comparing with Milli, who is of course a demon and fat in comparison to the other girls around her. But they have a really fun story. It's very mature, but it's very fun. Anyway, thank you for listening. Bye.